Coming to you live from downtown Detroit, this is Benzinga's Pre-Market Prep with your host, Joel Elconin.
This is a volatile puppy here, isn't it?
And Dennis Dick.
I'm bidding a penny. I will buy the stock for a penny.
With everything you need to start your trading day. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this Monday edition of Benzinga's Pre-Market Prep. Spencer Israel, Joel Elconin, Dennis Dick, and we have a lot to discuss. We want to talk about Crude this morning. We want to talk about the headlines from over the weekend with Warren Buffett. We have a couple earnings trickling in. We want to talk about how unpredictable this market is. We had Friday's rally. Who knows what will happen today? Well, that's what we're going to try to figure out in the next hour. Our guest today will be Joel Udall, CIO of Quantum Trading Strategies. Joel, tell us how we're doing in the S&Ps.
The rally continues from Friday. S&Ps are in the green by 8.5 points at 2671.50. Pre-market low just under that close to 63, even a 61.25. That would be a target on the downside if we can even get there. On the upside, your pre-market high 75.75. Absolutely nothing there. Your 5 and 8 day high are up in the middle 2680 handle. That's my target on the upside. Crude over $70 here, trading over at 70.51, up 79 cents. Gold in the red at 380, silver in the red by 9 cents at 16.44. And Bitcoin can't quite make it to 10,000. On Sunday, we did get up to 9,840 via the futures, but now just hanging on just above 9,000. Futures at 9,335. Let's bring Dennis here. Dennis, how you doing on this Monday morning? We're kind of working out some gremlins here.
Yeah, we're all working out gremlins. I'm working out gremlins in my trading portfolio here as well. So that's
what
the
you
way
get
it works.
Stuck with today? What's the Denny Downer of the day?
What did you say in the pre-market show? You want to do the daily Denny dumb thing or whatever? What did he do today? What did he do today? Okay, so I came in late today. I didn't get in. I had my kids this morning. Didn't get in until 7:20. So I come in, log in my system at 7:20. Looking over my overnight positions. I didn't have very many. I had 10 overnight positions because I didn't really trade very much Friday night. I took off early. But I did have a little bit of Tyson Foods, just an odd lot Tyson Foods. So I wasn't really paying attention to it. I just looked at my P&L. I was like, oh, I'm up 2 points in Tyson. They must have reported a pretty good quarter. And this is at like 7:25. So I'm like, I'm not even thinking anything of it. I'm logging in, doing my other things, not really worrying about the odd lot that I have in Tyson, because if I don't have an odd lot, I don't really look at them. We know I've done that before though, and lost a lot of money. Pay attention to those odd lots and they start falling. Anyways, all of a sudden, Tyson falls $5, and I'm like, huh? I'm like, they were just trading up too. I'm like, what's going on? And I look at 7:30. They reported at 7:30, so it was trading up 2 points on nothing. It was just trading up 2 points. So I could have sold Tyson up 2 this morning here, and now I'm looking at it down 2. It was just an odd lot, but I mean, still, it's a pretty nice little hit on a swing when you see, a stock go from up 2 to down $3 immediately. I actually have sold it now because it just rallied back up. But I guess, just because you see your stock trading up doesn't necessarily mean it reported.
I'm surprised you just didn't hit it. Why didn't you just hit it when you saw it up $2?
Well, I did log in. There was no bid up there. So it wasn't just like something to hit. I could have hit it like $1 down. So I could have hit it up $1, but I just assumed it reported. Spencer, back me up here. You see your stock trading up 2 points and you haven't really logged into your news system yet. Wouldn't you assumed it reported a pretty good quarter?
Yeah.
Would you assume that it was just trading up on nothing?
Yeah. If I knew it was the earnings day and I saw stock was up, I would just, that is a safe assumption.
Numbers.
Safe assumption.
No, they missed. They didn't report till 7:30, so people are just buying up 2 points just for fun.
Dennis,
actually, if you look at the tape, it was even higher.
Spencer never has a stock trading up $2 that he owns.
Well, this is I don't own many stocks. This is because I don't own many stocks. I don't own many stocks, period.
All right, let's do that Tyson chicken report since we're starting with that.
All right. The Q2 EPS, $1.27, that missed by 5 cents. Sales, $9.773 billion versus $9.89 billion, so they missed that number as well. Fiscal year EPS coming in line, however.
They mess. So it's all around mess. It should have been trading down. Anyways, disappointed that I I didn't check the news and actually get out of this thing before it reported this morning. But I guess I got to get out of bed earlier. I was lazy. Monday morning, I was lazy.
Big old range when Dennis should have sold it, hit 69.99.
Just buying this thing up at 69.99 on no news. Stop. That'd be up $3 on no news. I would have sold it short up. I would not just sold it. I would have sold it short up there, but making money. Man, that cost me a lot of money this morning not to come in early. I'd have sold at 69. It's straight 69.95 on nothing. Just up 3 points for fun. What are people thinking?
It's a bull market. I don't know what they're thinking.
It's a bull market. It's back. The bull's back. And what about this market too? Let's just go on a tangent about this market. Where did that Friday rally come from? I mean, we were looking at the charts. They started to all look bearish and boom, no, they're not bearish. It just punishes everybody. This market from day to day, this is the toughest market to call day to day. I mean, look at that S&P chart. It is like random walk theory all over the place here. Bring back the random walk theory from behavioral finance or whatever it's from. Everybody said, you know, there's no such thing as random walk. There is right now. This market is walking the random walk. Doug Castlery says, you know, market, you know, sometimes doesn't have memory day to day. That is exactly what applies here. This market is completely random right now.
All right, Tyson.
You guys,
I mean, back to the top of the trading range. If you want to talk about it, you know, really couple trading ranges developing here. But the primary one is we got under 2,600 again. And if you blinked, you missed it. On Wednesday, we trade 25.91 1/4. Rally strong that day. Friday, the market was just wishy-washy. And then I think it's just running out of sellers, Dennis. I don't know if it's like new buying, but the bears were pressing Friday morning. Couldn't get it done, and turns around and rallies get followed through today. If we're sticking with the trading range theory, then you really can't get too excited about the short side or taking off longs until you get up in the 25.80 handle, high at 82 1/4, and also a high at 88 1/2. We'll see if we can do that. Back to Tyson Chicken here. We've made a overhead supply, Dennis, too. So I'm sure you would have loved to sell this thing at 69.
Hell yeah. It was only an odd law. I'm not even upset with the odd law because whatever an odd law, but it was traded up. You could have sold short and then been kinging it this morning.
All right. Your pre-market low is down in the 62 handle. I'll just alert our traders and investors that you had a low at 63.30 in August of last year. And your, in September, and your August low was 61.97. So if we get it, to me, 62.63 looks like your buy range here, down 347.
I think it's lost most of what it's going to lose here. I actually did sell it on, so it went all the way down like that 62 handle, then popped back into the 64 handle. I sold out my odd lot, so I have no position left here in TSN. But I kind of feel like it lost like what it's going to lose. Don't you kind of? I mean, down 4, food stock, how bad can it get, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's what
it's gonna get worse.
Big old range too.
I'd say how bad can it get? I mean, the report sucked, so it could get worse. But I think, you know, down 4, you've lost the majority of what you're gonna lose. I think, in my trading opinion.
What are people eating? They're not eating chicken, right?
No, they started to. Look, Joel, they started eating canned foods. Did you see the move in Kraft Heinz on Friday? We're back. We're back. Look at this. Contrarian investing finally works.
Downgrade to sell, right? From Deutsche Bank. And
that was the bottom.
We'll see. I mean,
was it the bottom? What day did they do that?
No, they did it on Friday, and the low of the move, which we hope holds, is 54.11. That was made on Wednesday.
So 58.25 here this morning. You know what? It's almost back. It gets to 60. Are you going to dump?
No.
Get our money back? We get our money back?
Dennis.
Loss aversion at its best.
Oh, my God. Are you getting your portfolios mixed up?
We're in Kraft Heinz. We're along with for the ride with Kraft Heinz. We're sticking it out. But nice candle for us on Friday. We're back. So,
right.
Okay. Other earnings stocks. There was 2 other ones of note. Cognizant, CTSH. They reported earnings here this morning, and they are trading down $2. Actually 3 now. Spencer, details.
$1.06 on the EPS. That's in line with the estimate. Sales 3.9 billion, also in line with the estimate. So everything in line for Cognizant.
Stock trade down 3 points. There's lots of lows in that 78 handle. April 78.46, 78.58, 78.99. I say 78.5. What do you say?
Yeah, let's see.
One number.
Pre-market low 79.70, but I'll go with the same number. I'll go a little bit higher. I'll go 78. Let me see where all those lows. I see. I'll go 78.50. Hey, Dennis, remember when I'm sure you're not going to remember this, but when we were doing the show on pre-market info and we were covering this stock and it had like 18 down days in a row, like it set the record.
Cognizant?
Yeah, Cognizant. It must have
Real?
been.
I thought it was ExxonMobil that 18.
That
down
had
days in
it
a row.
too, but I think Cognizant like had the record at the time. I
Oh.
cannot remember the stretch, but
Can you imagine having 18 down days in a row?
Yeah. Yep.
That's incredible.
Yep.
The trend is your friend. The trend is your friend. Anyways, the trend's going the other way on this one this morning. I don't have to say 78.5. That's the number on that one. And then the last earning stock of the day, Cisco, the food stock, SYY. It's trading up slightly here, but also leaking the gains. Do we have a report on this one? I better just ask if the numbers are out there because it seems like these things trade wild before the numbers too, apparently. SYY, do you got the numbers?
Good thing you asked because I actually don't see it in.
We don't have the
You know what?
numbers.
I think it may have just come out. So let me see if I can grab it real quickly. 67 for 64 cents. That's what I see. 14.
So right now, breaking hot off the press.
14.3 billion in revenue versus 14.4 billion was the estimate, and that's what I got.
Oh yeah, they came out at 8 o'clock, so they've been out for a few minutes. There,
corrected.
So it does look like a beat, but stock is not really rallying much on it. Actually, it was trading up at 64 ahead of it when everybody was getting excited by every food stock ahead of the earnings report, thinking they were all going to take off like Kraft Heinz. Not the case. $64 is no good. The buy doesn't look like it's now 62.30 bid, but they were hitting that a little bit too. This thing could go red. Oh, maybe not. 2,900 just refreshed, so maybe it holds on. We'll see. It's an okay report, better than the chicken report.
Just keep an eye on the parallels from Thursday and Friday, 61.72, 61.77, and that's big levels to hold in today's session. Also, you want to see it stay green at 62.30. Friday's high 62.83. Big level. Actually, it had matching ranges: 62.73, 62.83 on Thursday and Friday, 172, 177 on the downside on Friday as well. And the closes were pretty close. So I'd play it that way, whatever way to decide to take it outside of Friday's range.
Okay, multiple headlines on Tesla here, TSLA. Talk to me, Spencer. I looked and there was like 10 headlines here this morning. I heard something about a potential capital raise, but they're not seeming to focus on that one. They're focusing more on what Warren was saying here. What were the comments here? What did Warren say about Tesla? Did he say anything?
I don't know if there's headlines, but there's no news. If that makes sense, it's all like stupid stuff. Warren had commented on Tesla over the weekend, and said moats are good. Having a moat is good. Elon tweeted back at him, and then they asked Buffett this morning on CNBC about it, and then they talking about a candy company because that's what Musk tweeted about starting. I don't know. The whole thing is dumb, quite frankly. I don't know if there's any actual news.
Chatter back. Yeah. They were just talking back and forth. There's nothing happening here. Anyways, but you hear Warren. Oh, Warren talked about Tesla here, so Tesla's got to go up because Warren mentioned it. Warren is back to being the most powerful, isn't he, Joel? After that Apple move on, when was it disclosed? Thursday morning or Friday morning? Was it Friday morning? Friday morning that he had the position. Is he back to being the most influential person on the street now? We were given it. I gave the title to Andrew Leff for a while from Citron, but I don't know. Warren, Andrew Leff, to tell you right now, could not move Apple up $5. So maybe Warren's more powerful again.
I don't.
Thoughts on who is the most influential person on the street here right now?
I would have said Donald Trump never lost it, but
he never lost it. But I took the title away for a bit. I was giving it to Andrew Leff, but I just looked on Friday. It got disclosed Friday morning that he had bought another 75 million shares of Apple, and Apple just continued to blast off all day to new all-time highs. So I don't know. I don't think if Andrew Leff disclosed that he had bought 75 million, obviously he wouldn't be able to buy that many shares. But if he had bought a big position in Apple, I don't think it would move up $5. He did disclose his position in Baba, and it moved up on Andrew Leff's comments. But I think Warren still got the title here, most influential person on the street. So he just mentions Tesla in passing, and Tesla's up.
302.74. That marks your pre-market high back at 97.30. I mean, this thing's going to decide what to do above 300. We're going to hold 300 and rally back up, or it's going to fail at this $300 level and test the lows of the move at 280. Keep an eye on yesterday's close of 294.09.
What's this deal? Spinner's talking about Starbucks and Nestle. I saw it go by my timeline too. What are they doing, Nestle?
No, I saw that headline too,
Wet.
and I didn't actually look at it closely. I kind of glanced over it, so I'll just read it to you from the Pro right now. Nestle is going to acquire the rights to market, sell, and distribute Starbucks brands. They're going to pay Starbucks about $7 billion in considerations.
$60 has just been big. March, April. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times it snuck its head over 60. 5 times it came right back down. I think we could possibly test it here today. We're at 59.5. They're coming right into major resistance. So the stock was 55 2 days ago. I'm not chasing it here.
Nope.
$60. I think if I was long it, I'd be lightening up at $60.
And it might not even get there. You have.
I think it gets there. I'm going with it gets there.
No wager. 59.80 is your pre-market high. Dennis talked about those spotty highs. One at 60.18, just above and below. 60.12, that's the one above. The one, they're all right at 60. 60 even is 60.20. Good number. Let's see if it gets there.
Speaking of wagers, how'd you do on your horses?
I cashed on Audible. I had them pretty good across the board. I would have rather.
Audible came out of nowhere too there at the end because I was like watching. I was like, "Where's Audible? Where's Audible?" And it ends up being third.
Yeah, bad
He
drive.
wasn't on the board until the final stretch.
Yeah, he didn't get out of the gate. He let Justify get too far ahead of him, and it's hard to make up the ground. I looked at the picture. I thought my horse got second there, and it would have enabled me to have a low paying exacta, but I had him across the board. He just didn't get out of the gate. It's like one of those trades when, you put it on and you're like, oh, this is moving against me. That's when I felt when Audible was nowhere near the top. You need to be in the top 3 or 4. You can't run behind like that with a horse like Justify, but we'll see. He'll look good. Maybe we'll get a Triple Crown winner this year.
Well, so I watch it, but how do, these horses that start way on the outside, how do they stand a chance really? I mean, like, the horses on the inside, because they got to come all the way in and cut in, don't they? Like the ones that are starting way on the outside, like on the 20th, I don't know, the 20 spot or what it is, but that one way on the outside, I don't see how they really stand a chance to get back in it. Do they?
No, I mean,
how do they determine which gate they go in?
Draw. It's
luck of the draw.
Yeah, and that's why I ruled. I mean, there was a couple horses I ruled out just based on being too far outside, and Justify had the 7 pole. He got right to the top, easy trip. So congratulations.
He led the whole way, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yep, he did.
Yeah.
He did. But we'll see. We'll see what happens in the Preakness. But he didn't have any mud on him at all. That was very, very, very impressive. But I'll tell you, Audible, I got it. I mean, he paid almost $6 to show. He paid $5.80 to show. So I mean, that's that's a pretty good payout. That exacta 7.6. That paid $70. Audible should have been second. But anyways, S&Ps are leaking a little bit here, Dennis. We're only up 6.5. Got to watch mid-range on the section 68.50. That'll be the key to more upside here. So do we have any good stocks with earnings after the close, or is it pretty much pretty quiet this week, huh?
There's a couple. I think we have Zillow reporting after the close today. And then
Rambus,
AMC, who will be doing well with
that's AMC, the theater company, though.
Yes.
They're doing well with the Avengers.
Oh yes, they are, I'm sure.
And Disney is up on the Avengers too here. It's trading up another 85 cents. Both House of Mouse and AMC. Loving that Avengers movie. Did you see it?
I saw it yesterday at noon.
Good?
Yes, it was worth. I mean, I went at noon, so I think it was like $4, $5, but yes, it was worth every penny. It was.
I'm not into any of these comic book characters. Well, I appreciate it if I see something like that, or I won't appreciate it.
No, you don't have to see all 20 Marvel films they've made or whatever, but I would see a couple. If you haven't seen any of them, then you're not going to appreciate it. If you've seen
what's so special about this one?
It's so the Marvel Cinematic Universe is moving in phases. This is sort of like the end of the first phase. So every movie, in 2008, they released Iron Man, and they've been doing movies since then pretty much. And this is supposed to wrap up the storylines of that set of superheroes essentially. So they're
I saw the original Iron Man. I did see
Okay.
that one, which was pretty good. But
So they're, it's sort of most characters from the past 10 years are making an appearance, and they're all there together, and it's supposed to wrap up, this part of the universe. And so everything's been building for this. So it's good, is all I'll say. If you haven't seen it, if you're into that, you should see it. It's good.
let's go to ratings. There's a few here of note. Deer catches another upgrade. I believe this is upgrades in 2 of the last 3 days, if I'm correct in my thinking here. When was the last one? I remember an upgrade last week.
Yeah.
Somebody
What day?
Deer and Denver.
What day? What day was that was a Thursday. They got an upgrade on Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah.
So within 3 trading days. It's trading up 220. Evercore upgrades are here to outperform this morning. It is trading up near the psychological $140 level. Just kissing up against that. I didn't open my book yet. I told you I was running late here today. Go to those numbers. I'll open my book and see if I see anything there.
All right, man, this stock has been in the doghouse here, trying to move ahead of earnings. Pre-market high, you have some trades going off here at 139.50. I see a high here at 139.93, so that's a bogey on the outside. Can we get into the 140 handle? If you can, there's a lot of air, and I believe the reason you had that air day, what did you do on that day? Well, you had the big candle, you were green. You hit 149.15. Oh, that even adds more significance to the 149 area. I think that's when the Caterpillar CEO said it doesn't get any better than this. And that stock reversed.
Everything got hit.
Yep. And dragged the market down too. And dragged Deer along with it, just hanging out too close to the lows of the move for me to chase this. Low on Thursday, 131.26. So almost $10 up from Thursday's low. Little too much, too fast for me chasing John Deere.
Just waiting on the book here because I'm still trying to log in. But what was I going to say? What was I going to say? I don't remember. Man, it's tough Monday morning. I can't remember what I was going to say. It was going to be about John Deere too here. Anyways, I had an idea, but okay. Well, when do they report? It's got to be coming up.
I think it's tomorrow.
Oh, is it tomorrow? So it's coming up right away. So everybody's upgrading this ahead of the report. That takes guts.
Tomorrow before the bell.
If you're an analyst, that takes some guts to upgrade something ahead of the report because you're like, hung out to dry if they miss. What are your thoughts here, Joe, on upgrading a stock ahead of a report?
That's why they do their job, right? That's why, right? That's what they're paid.
Most of them don't, though. Most of them wait till they do the ratings change after the report because they all chase price. But I really, look at those guys that got the guts to do that. And, I give them props for that. Going to upgrade ahead of the report. Maybe they're making a call. That's what you're supposed to do as an analyst. You're supposed to make a call. So many analysts out there that just chase price. Stock misses. Okay, we'll downgrade now. Stock beats. Okay, we're upgrade now. Making a call. I like that. Making a call ahead of the report. So anyways, okay, just grabbing the Deere book here, which is the whole point to me stalling there for a second. DE, I feel like there should be something at 140. Only 4,400. It's light. So there's nothing there yet. So book is pretty empty. We'll see if it grows anymore. I can look back to it maybe at before we stop the show 9 o'clock. But 140, I think, is a psychological level there in Deere. Then you got the Shake Shack. Shake Shack catching a downgrade at JP Morgan. So they did not like the Shake Shack earnings. JP Morgan making a call here as well. Contrarian call because the stock was straight up on Friday. Down to underweight. So 54.75 is where we're trading on the pre-market. What a day for it on Friday. That went from $46 up to almost 50. Well, 58.98. It was up 11 points at one time. Thoughts here on the Shake Shack, baby?
We're traded down here. Really no man's land. If you're trying to hold on, protect some games for Friday's big move, 52.87. That was your low on Friday. If it takes that, you got a big gap down to fill the 47.93. On the upside, try and sell this as close to the closing price from Friday at 55.95. Won't see that 58.98 high. A lot of people trapped in this one after trading 1.5 million on Thursday, almost 7 million on Friday.
Okay, this one's breaking out here. It's just it's Cloudera, CLDR, and I know there's been a few people talking about it in the chat. I'm liking this one because it could get back into the gap area here today. It looks itchy to me. I believe is it Craig Hallam here this morning, Spencer, with the buy rating on Cloudera?
Yep, $20 price target.
Yeah, this could kickstart it. So I actually did pick up some of this here just right now, just because I think it could kickstart it there too. Gets above this 15, needs to open above the 1525, 1530 area. There's a big bit of 1525. I think there's room. I think this thing could have a run today. It's up to only 26 cents. Last time it got some analyst love, it ran a buck. Craig Hallam not as influential as some on the street, but they got some pull. I don't know. I think there's some room here on the upside for Cloudera. Thoughts, Joel, CLDR? I'm taking a little small flyer in it.
I don't know who was talking about this one. If it was Stargazer or
They were right though.
Yeah, it's just slowly moving up into that gap area of 41 cents at 1545. Pre-market high is right there as well. I mean, it's just hard to give you resistance when you have a gap all the way up.
There's nothing in there.
Yeah, there's nothing in there. If it comes
Well, I like
back,
it.
I'll just give you support. The close 1504, close near the low on Friday. If you're looking for a gap fill, excuse me, you need to trade under 1523.
So Cloudera looking okay to me. In the chat, they're talking about Longfin. We got I can't feel my Facebook talking LFIN. Have we heard anything? I'm not even following the story anymore because we know it got halted like a month ago.
Yeah.
Is it going to start trading here eventually or what?
The opposite of that.
What's going to happen?
They are voluntarily delisting their stock from the NASDAQ. The last day will be May 14th. Last day of trading.
But it hasn't even come out of the halt yet, has it? Is it out of the halt? When's it come out of the halt?
Oh, that's a good point.
It's still under a regulatory halt from the SEC because they're delisting it. It may not even come out of the halt. Man, if you're in this thing, you must be scratching your head like, what do I do? You hope you're not long it because obviously I think it's going to open a hell of a lot lower. But where do you think? So it's eventually going to, even if they delist it, so it goes over the counter wherever it goes when they delist them there. What do you think? Like, is this thing like $1, $2, $3, or is it like it's not $28?
I have no idea because they're voluntary delisting. I mean, obviously it's going to be lower. They just might come out with some, sugar.
It's this SEC. Have we heard anything about the SEC investigation? Like, it's been halted since when did it halt? Halted April the 6th. So we've been halted for a month here now, and just waiting, obviously, on this. I think SEC, was investigating for whatever reason, which I think there's probably a million reasons to investigate this company. Have they, SEC, said anything about these investigations? Do we have any information on that?
No.
Like, now that they're, delisting, obviously it sounds like the investigation is probably not going well, but do we know what the SEC is saying?
No, I've not seen or heard anything from them.
It's usually pretty quiet until they come up with some decision here. So
yeah,
there's so many unknowns here. But SEC investigation now delisting. I gotta think this thing is like gonna open up at a couple bucks when it comes wherever it opens. It ain't gonna be on the exchange. It doesn't sound like.
I mean, is it officially gonna open?
Well, it'll open again somewhere. If they delist it, then it goes to the pinks, right? So we'll see what it opens at there. But what price is it gonna open at there? $1?
I don't know.
If you bought this at 28, you're in a world of hurt. I'll just tell you that.
If it never reopens and you're short calls, I mean, do they just?
Well, these are good questions. Let's bring Nick Shaheen on Tuesday. We should ask him this stuff. Like, that's a mess. I mean, it's when you get into stuff like this, and you're sure exactly like your short calls. Well, they're expiring worthless. Can you exercise those and get? That's a question for some options guys there. Like, I guess you could exercise anything, right? So if you want, I guess if you were like long and you wanted I don't know why you would do that, but I guess you could. So I guess theoretically speaking, on the other side of the trade, you could, if you wrote the calls, I think you'd probably hope that they exercised them so you could actually be short this thing. But I don't know what happens if when it's halted. Then can you exercise even when they're halted for SEC investigation? I'm not even sure you can do anything. It's good questions. You don't see the scenario pop up very often. I've been trading 18 years. You don't really see the scenarios pop up that often where they're halted for this long. It's been halted for a month.
We can ask Nick about that. I got in on Tuesday, which is tomorrow, 8:35.
Well, 8:35 right now.
Okay.
So we're gonna bring on Sean Udall, and I'm having some computer gremlins today, so we're gonna have to take a quick break, and I'm gonna call Sean during our break, and we'll be back in a moment with Sean Udall. He is the CIO of Quantum Trading Strategies. He joins the show, I don't know, just about every month or so to give us his take on tech and the markets and everything related to that. So we'll be right back with Sean.
Morning, Benzinga.
Sean, how's it going, man?
It's going good.
Good, good. Thanks for coming on this morning. What's on your radar?
Well, the picks that I have that I think I have now the most conviction in, aside from some of the old ones that we've talked about and are working pretty well. I think the next big leadership area for technology is going to be 5G and 5G upgrade cycle. And the fact that we haven't had CapEx in many of those areas for, really since late 1990s, really a little bit in the early 2000s. So that's a big theme I've been working on. It's a big theme I've been sending notes to my subscribers for, I don't know, the bulk of this year. I think a lot of these stocks had a fundamental bottom in Q1 of this year as well. So that's probably my new focus. And then there's still areas of technology I like, and I still dislike the same names that we kind of talked about as shorts the last couple times I was on.
Hey, I want to ask you about Cloudera. I don't follow the company from a fundamental tech, or I just looking at it technically. It's getting upgraded here today. Just take a flyer on it, just trying to play for the breakout here. Talk to me about the fundies, though. Anything there?
I like
Cloudera?
it. Now they had a bad quarter. The same thing happened to Cloudera that happened to Hortonworks. I don't know, about 2 years ago. Is that relatively young IPO? Usually in the first 3 to 5 quarters of a new IPO, they'll usually have one bad quarter, and usually they get cut in half or more. And that's pretty much exactly what happened to Cloudera. I actually like the platform long term a lot. In fact, I think Cloudera and Hortonworks is HDP, are two companies that could actually be way bigger. And if people don't know this, they're basically, if you are familiar with Red Hat over its life cycle, these two companies are very similar to Red Hat, just in a different space of software. And I actually like this space a lot better. This is the big data, AI, intelligence, data analytics space. Red Hat is more of kind of a brick and mortar operating system space, and which, frankly, to me has never been that exciting. That's probably a good short here, by the way. But yeah, I like Cloudera. I like Hortonworks, and Cloudera it's not as good of a buy as it was. What did it hit? That crazy low on it, I think 12 or 13. Yeah. I'm still kicking myself. I literally was talking about that stock. I want to say like at 13.10. Yeah. I didn't do anything, get pulled. And at that price, I could have just bought it and probably left it alone for a year and just, come back and, either get a quick trade on it to where it is here, or just, a year from now, it's probably back to 22 to 25 bucks. So yeah, by the way, that's kind of where I value it. I value it kind of high side, probably like high 20s, low 30s, but kind of a no-brainer at like 22 to 25.
Let's talk all these and talk the techs overall here too. Maybe we just sit back here and talk, this market overall, and talk the NASDAQ, because it has kind of just been shopping around here for a month. We can't figure out we're going higher, lower, left, or right. It is chopping around. The Friday rally really came out of nowhere for me. I look at this chart still in the QQQ, and I kind of just see it in the middle of a trading range here. It's difficult to call this market day to day.
I agree. I think, in fact, I called this market a trade, but that we could be in a trading range for like a year. And you kind of got to attack the bottom of the range, kind of got to short the top of the range. I think I sent Joel a note privately that I said I thought we were due for a 500 to 700 point NASDAQ up move. And that was pretty close to 1 or 2 days kind of before we had that 100, 200 point turn that we've had so far. So why
do you send me that note?
Well, I don't know if I have you on in my
okay, I'm sending. I want that note
on my cell numbers. But no, he could verify that.
I believe you. I just wanted the note.
Oh yeah, no. So basically, my sentiment gauge, which you guys know, I do my own sentiment work, got really washed out. And what was strange about that is we got this big sentiment washout in a relatively kind of benign market. So I don't know if it was China trade stuff or what. I don't even know what the catalyst really was. But all of a sudden, what did we see? We saw quite a bit of fear and quite a bit of really, really negative sentiment. And here's the beauty of it. By and large, earnings have been not good, but they've been great again. Now, is that a surprise? It's not. But when you have 3 weeks of earnings reports and all the companies have 6, 8, 10, 15% growth, and stocks go down 8 to 10%, well, on fundamentals, stocks are actually 15 to 20% cheaper, because you combine, the increase in the growth with the decline in stock prices. And so on a relative valuation basis, stocks aren't just 8 to 10% cheaper from the correction low. They're actually, roughly double that, because, earnings are really good. So, and that, I kind of think that's why we started bouncing. I think stocks got cheap enough that some of the big buyers said, I'm sure they do the same calculus that I do and just say, hey, stocks are roughly 15 to 20% cheaper than when we started the year. So let's start buying some stuff.
Sean, yeah, we did. We talked on Tuesday, and we had some rough, and I did mention it on the show, and we had some rough trading on Wednesday and Thursday. But if you would have been sticking with, the bullish thesis that you had, would have been a great opportunity. Problem is now we're running at kind of a little bit of a top of the trading range here. So is the NASDAQ run here? Because really, I think for some of the targets that you and I discussed, we're considerably higher above this area. So kind of little trading range in the S&P 2680, 2685. So you're looking for us to clear that and because I think you were talking about near all-time highs for that move.
Yeah, I think we basically go retest or close to the retest of the all-time highs again, and then I tell you what, anybody that waits until all-time highs to get excited by stocks again, I think they're going to get punished.
A little bit late.
So, but specifically, I said 500 to 700 points from kind of that recent NASDAQ low. So I'm thinking 7,500 to 7,700 on the NASDAQ. So it basically, the corollary on the S&P, it pretty much gets you back to the same old highs on the S&P, because all these markets pretty much work in unison. But yeah, so I'm thinking I'm gonna stick to my call until I see 75 to 7,700, unless sentiment is really overbought again. So right now, sentiment's pretty neutral. Sentiment's almost exactly where you would think it would be after a roughly 200 to 250 point reversal on the NASDAQ. It's almost too textbook. It's kind of eerie, but yeah, sentiment's not hot. It's not cold. It's basically neutral now.
All right, we got some people with pretty good memories here in the chat, and Spotify. Now, it was getting killed. I remember just off his IPO, we were making fun of you. And I went down under 140 and then got some upgrades going into the report. Now it's back at the 155 area. Where is your value area in Spotify?
Well, I think I said I liked it like for a trade, and I'm kind of still like, I should have done it. The name I said I really liked off Spotify was Pandora, by the way, which has gone up a lot. But yeah, no, I mean, I kind of 135 to 145. I think Spotify's a buy. They went to 170. I was a chicken. I didn't do anything. And same thing. I could have bought some at like 155, and I didn't. I'm going to wait a little bit, but now what we're starting to see, at least we've got a few weeks on this chart. I don't feel the need to trade an IPO out of the gate. Sometimes I will. By the way, I bought Dropbox when they killed it. When that first came out, and it just opened kind of bad. It didn't trade very well and was sluggish. I want to say I bought that like 29 and change, and that worked out pretty good. I mean, it wasn't a heroic trade, but it was like an easy 10% in a few days. And so I'm kind of playing around with that, under 30, I'll look at it, and 34 to 35-ish plus, I'll sell it. And I actually think that name is kind of a decent play. I actually think Dropbox could do better than the naysayers think. Spotify, I think Spotify will run into trouble because I think they priced it with, it's a unicorn. So it's, it's garnered the reputation of, Palantir, Airbnb, Uber. I don't know if their market cap that they come out with is sustainable long term. We'll have to see, because they're kind of doing what they do with the FANGs. They're basically saying that it's got 20, 30, 35% growth in almost perpetuity to justify where it's trading. Now, hey, until they miss a quarter, they're probably not going to drop a whole lot. But yeah, I think it's an okay trade at or around where it came out. If you're fairly nimble and you're careful, and earnings reports for them will probably be pretty good for at least a few quarters. But again, once you get to that third, fourth, fifth report, I would be cautious on it, because that's always the area you got to be a little careful. Just to wrap on this, here's my main thought on Spotify right now. I just kind of want to see a trade up to and through their IPO lockup. I think we all might get a much better chance to get cheaper Spotify shares, in the 2 or 3 or 4 weeks before their IPO lockup. So that I might not really even do much on it until then, frankly.
Let's hear about your 5G picks. We hear a little bit about 5G around the office, don't we, Spencer? A little bit about 5G. What are the issues associated with that? Someone is TT Mac is asking about Qualcomm. Where's Qualcomm? Starting to come back, showed some green candles here on Friday at least. Who is going to benefit from the 5G boom?
Yeah, I absolutely love Qualcomm. In fact, this is kind of where I've published quite a bit on this. I basically said and think and still view, and it's being confirmed all the time, that I think Qualcomm is at today's in the prices of the last few months, basically 50 to 55-ish or below, is just as good of a buy with similar return profile as Apple had in early 2013. So that's when you can buy Apple pre-split 380 to 450. If you paid 450, did it go to 380? Sure. But did you catch a multi-bagger return on a company that was only trading 3.5 to 4 times net cash, of arguably one of the greatest companies in the world? And the rest is history. And I think Qualcomm sets up similarly. It's just as easy of a call. The thing I don't know is, hey, can you buy it at 52 and get an exit at 57 tomorrow? I have no idea. Or can you buy it at 52 and is the next quarterly report going to be good? And is it going to pop in the next quarter? Again, I have no idea. But what I feel pretty good about is that when I've seen great companies trade at cash flow yields and price to net cash ratios like this, I literally have never missed on one of these. Google was a similar buy, sort of in the 2009, 10, 11 timeframe, by the way. So the bottom line is Qualcomm is sort of the global leader in 5G, but there's some other stuff they have going for it too. I think that popped on Friday because there's some theory that they will finally get approval from China on the NXPI merger. And I've always said, I always felt they were buying NXPI at a pretty fair price. I also think the NXPI report, where they didn't have such a good quarter and the stock went down a ton, now it doesn't, now people don't think they need to renegotiate the deal and pay them $150 a share either. So, and isn't it funny how things work? So everything that could go wrong for Qualcomm that created a $50 stock, and arguably it's trading at a massive discount. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if quite a few things line up in their favor simultaneously. And we always see this. People tend to get the most negative on stocks very, very soon or very close to a turning point. So, in fact, you could almost say you get max negativity right at the point of optimum return profile. And we've seen that many, many times. But no, I like Qualcomm a lot. And then the other area, and these things have just been beat hard and feathered, and it's mostly because of China trade fears, is the fiber optic space. So things like Light, things like Aclaro, which Light's buying, things like Viavi, which is the old JDS Uniphase, things like Acacia, which that's their biggest customer, ZTE. Things like Finisar. So that whole group, there again, they probably have been sold the most, literally weeks to months in front of what could be one of their biggest growth cycles in the last 15 to 20 years. And it's just funny. It's funny how this stuff happens, but it happens over and over again. Anyway, Dennis, you had a question.
I was going to say a couple things. First of all, the one thing I appreciate about you, Sean, is that you're kind of contrarian, and there's so many guys who are just Momo out there that they're
only kind
you're
of
completely contrarian.
Yeah, there you go.
But I just say there's so many people who, especially on CNBC, 9 out of 10 people who go on there are just going with the flow. They're Momo, if the stock's going up, they're buying it. The stock's going down, they're selling it, and they're Momo. But you're contrarian. You'll stick with these calls for a long time. You'll take some heat sometimes too. But just like Twitter, you were early on Twitter, but you know what, man, it came back all the way, and you ended up being right at the end on that one. So I think you stick with the Sean Udall guy long enough. I think you make money with them too. So just wanted to give you some props for making.
No, thanks. But now this is a really interesting space, and again, it's most people are going to look at the charts. Oh, the charts are terrible. Oh, the last two reports are terrible. Again, I don't want to beat the dead horse, but Micron, these things are all just like Micron. When Micron was 10 to 15, it was the same thing. It was like The most clear thing, I mean, this just annoys me. The most clear thing in the world was how good Micron's business was going to be in two or three quarters when the stock was 12. I mean, it was the absolute most obvious thing in the world that they were going into a really good cycle. And yet they had maximum algorithmic pessimism. That's the word I'm going to use, is algorithmic pessimism. And you know, this thing, I mean, they'd even have good news. The thing would pop to 13, go straight back to 1080.
Hey, Sean, let me ask you about two stocks real quick, and then we got to let you go.
Okay.
CASA, is that a 5G play?
Say that again.
CASA, Ed Parker's.
I don't know. I don't know if I know that one.
Okay. Rob Hood wants your thoughts on COUP.
You know, Coop was a big winner for me. I don't have it anymore. I still like the name. But now I think Kramer's been talking about it lately, and I don't know. Been there, done that. I don't have any. I don't think I'd buy it here. So, you know, I don't want to be like, say that can't keep going up, but once I move off a name, I'm either neutral or tend to be bearish on them.
Give us one pick here before we let you go. One stock for today that you think, you know, is good value, and a year or two from now,
well,
we'll be happy we bought it.
I'll say Qualcomm and Finisar.
You like Finisar too? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, Sean Udall, CIO of Quantum Trading Strategies. Sean, thanks a lot for the time, man.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
All right.
S&P futures hanging in a 2670 handle, up 8 1/4, 2671.25. Your pre-market high 75.75. I see no major resistance until you get into the upper middle 2680 handle. Dennis, what else we get? We got 4 minutes here. Where do you want to go?
Talk imbalances for a minute. Big buy imbalance in Exxon Mobil. The reason is, Joel, you're telling me in the pre-market show, cover Barron's?
Cover Barron's, the future of oil, Exxon Mobil. I mean, you don't get much better than that than getting on the cover of Barron's. Beat up after its last earnings report. Real good support here. Just under 76, 75.40 was the recent low of the move. Don't think you're going to see that. What I would say right now is they got a little bit of a seller here at 78. We are trading 78.88. That's kept a lid on things in the pre-market trading. Above 78, boom, 78, 56, 65. Pair of double tops after the earnings report.
Just try to look in the book. Really, the only thing is a little bit of size. 70, I see 20,000 shares, so that is something. Where I really see the size, $80. 75,000 is probably over 100,000 going to be there now. So you're a long ways away from there. Yep. But if for whatever reason it goes for a 2 or 3 day run, 80 is still huge. Psychological and real resistance as there's orders there.
All right, we did talk a whole lot of ratings here. Do you want to go maybe?
We caught a couple of them.
Celgene, did we talk that one?
Which one do you want to talk?
Celgene.
Yeah, but this one's a weird one, eh? So, Spencer, it's downgraded, but it's downgraded to outperform. What the hell? What do you mean?
Downgraded from RBC's top pick. I don't know if that's referring to a top pick or the top pick, but regardless, it's not a top pick anymore. And now it's downgraded to outperform. The price target.
So you had to really buy it. Now you just got to buy it. This is dumb.
I guess.
That's just dumb.
I don't know.
I almost just strike that one from the record. It's trading up here in the pre-market. Obviously, Wall Street's striking it from the record here too. I don't know what the hell they mean by that. So, okay, well, it's not their topic anymore. It's just, it just got to, so you can't really buy it. You just got to buy it. If you want to go to neutral, it should be buy, sell, or neutral, and that's it. This, like outperform or really outperform or really outperform.
And while we're at it, let's make a rule that you can't initiate at a neutral, because what's the point?
Yeah, and you can't initiate at a neutral too, because that's telling me nothing.
Right.
So we initiate this at neutral. Well, tell me something. Right. You want to downgrade from buy to neutral? I get it. You want to upgrade from sell neutral? I get it. Should be 3. Buy, sell, neutral, and when they start going into all these funky different types of ratings, and and some call them outperform, but that's a buy. It's all just confusing. But you go to top pick to outperform. What are you talking about, RBC? What do you mean? I don't understand what the hell they're talking.
All right, Jazz just asked a quick question. 103,000 buying balance, 103,000 shares. That's not huge for AT&T. is trading up 12 cents. Yesterday's high, Friday's high, 32.27. I don't know. This stock has really gotten beat up. If I could catch this, I'm looking at your 3-day high at 32.63. I think I'd be more comfortable shorting it up at that area, but 100K, not a really big buying balance for AT&T.
It's significant, but not. You're right. It might move at 10 cents and it's trading up 10 cents, so it's not enormous. I don't know. What do you think of all these? So here's the conversation for the next minute. I mean, we only got a minute left,
okay.
But you got so many stocks that have the hell beat out of them. Friday they started to show life. I mean, it started with Kraft Heinz really out of the dogs, and it showed some big life there. And we know me and Joel are happy about that. But even Mondelez Foods, it turned around and caught a big bid. You had stuff like General Mills. So the food stocks were all catching a bid. That could be a different story with Tyson here today. But AT&T and Verizon, they got a little bit of a bid. Some utilities caught a little bit, but not really. It was kind of a weird market. I mean, a lot of things caught bids all across the board.
I don't know.
What do you think of AT&T and Verizon?
I mean, I've liked AT&T since 38, so I haven't put it in there. So, we'll see if
6.2% dividend now.
I know, that's huge.
It's over 6. Now this has got to be years since it's had a 6% dividend on it.
Oh, long time.
Well, maybe in October it got down. It wasn't quite this low, but it's a long time. There's some major. Go to the monthlies. There's a lot of support 31 to 32. The only problem is, and this is why I have a small position in my portfolio, the reason it's not a big position, I love my divvies, is still, I just think there's pressure, margins all over the place here. Competition is here for them. I don't love even their DirecTV acquisition. I mean, I look at Dish Networks here now, DISH, which is just straight in the gutter. And, if DirecTV was on its own, it would probably be doing the same here. So not in love, I'm sure that's, not been one of the better acquisitions, especially with the competition from Netflix. I just don't think there's a lot of money in, cable, flying into cable and obviously paid TV here when you got your Netflix and you've got a lot of free stuff on the internet. I don't know. I just think long-term they got so much margin pressure. It scares me.
Yeah. And, wait till that deal shakes out too with Time Warner. A lot of trepidation over that. All right, Spencer, 9:01, 9:02 here. You want to wrap things up? And
yep. I just want to remind people that the Benzinga FinTech Awards are now just over a week away. They're next Tuesday and Wednesday in New York City. If you want to attend, if you're going to be in the area, Joel and myself will be there. You can go to benzingafintech.awards.com. If you want to get a discounted ticket, you can enter the discount code PMP VIP. That'll get you a couple $100 off the ticket. So again, benzingafintech.awards.com for that promo code PMP VIP. That's our show for today, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you have a good rest of the day, and we will see you folks on Tuesday. Have a good one.